important point now is that we talked about lines that are drawn with a vertical brush and very delicately with a constant hand pressure here for outlining to clean up the edges of the work. It's necessary that we hold the brush at a 90-degree angle and vertically exactly on the perimeter lines and around the work, the lines around our petals. Work so that the outline of the work is very clean and tidy, and so these messy lines don't make our design look dirty. And now, another thing we need to do is those lines that were actually flicked. The brush, which I said in flower design too, is used. Lines that are like hair, thicker at the end, and because they are drawn with a brush flick. The end of these lines is thinner and fades away. And here, where this part is completed, you look to see if you want some special highlights in your work as white spots, you add them here again. Actually, this is like very small and clear lights that are usually seen on petals now. Well, this part is actually finished coloring now, and we'll do the rest of this flower in the same format. And when it's finished, we'll do the final outlining again to have a very clean and tidy work. Well, this part is finished. The petals are colored, those details of the work are added, and for the middle part of the flower, a bit of the dark brown color that I said is necessary in addition to the other colors to be bought in a dotted way. We put a bit of this brown color in this part. These details make the work very natural too. It also gives it a nice effect. And in the same dotted fashion, after we've applied the browns, now we'll add the white color to these stamens in the center of the flower. If we need to intensify the highlights anywhere, now that it's dry, we can add a bit more white paint again to some parts very subtly, just to show the light and the shine on the petals. When the painting is wet, if you try to add these, they'll keep blending into the wet paint underneath, and that shine you're expecting won't be there in the end. You have to let it dry completely and then add these white spots. Well, for the final touches on the leaves, using a mix of this green and brown and a little bit of yellow. Since we want to work with tonality again, we'll be using these flat paper palettes, just like before, to help us explore and experiment with different tonal values. A combination of brown, green, and yellow. In some places, you need to put the yellow on top of the green and brown, and don't let it blend too much with those two colors, meaning don't mix them on the palette to create a single color. Instead, use the yellow as a highlight. This makes the leaves look very transparent and natural, and it gives the leaf a very vibrant color. Where you want it to be lighter, use that green. Where you want it darker, add a bit of brown. And where the light hits, use the yellow color. And just like with the tonality, once we apply the colors, we immediately start blending them. Now, for example, we can, by adding a bit of yellow to our mixture, start to notice how the color slowly shifts. You'll see it becoming just a little warmer and a touch brighter, which can really help the paint stand out more on the canvas. Let's add some light to these leaves here.